To see the fully uncut version of this video, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons.
What's that like to live deliciously? Chaos reigns.
Please don't scream.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's happening? My name is Jonjo Lyons, and today I'm here to present to you my review for Faust, Love of the Damned. Written and directed by all of these wonderful people, Faust stars... all of these. A man sells his soul to the devil to gain superpowers and avenge his girlfriend's brutal murder. When he realizes that the price is the soul of his new love interest, he turns on the devil. How's it going, my fellow fallen souls damned to an eternity of having to listen to your flatmate loudly chew food until you eventually snap and take a kitchen knife to his arsehole? It's that time again. Actually, it's time for something slightly new, as this week we'll be taking a look at my very first horror comic book movie. Unless you count Mei-chan's daily life. Go watch that video. It's a good one. To put it bluntly, Faust is just Spawn but with more sex and violence. 12-year-old me would have loved this movie. It also features one of the funniest lead performances I've ever seen, stars everyone's favourite oddball Jeffrey Combs, and is directed by Brian Yuzna, who's also directed a whole host of amazing movies in our favourite genre. His greatest achievement in my eyes is the character Julie Walker from Return of the Living Dead 3. She had a lasting effect on me. Much like Hooker with a hacksaw, I was introduced to this film by everybody's favourite YouTube channel, Red Letter Media. After hearing them talk about it, I knew I had to check it out, and my god am I glad I did. Are we about to experience the greatest superhero movie that never got a sequel? Let's find out. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you, you can see this video completely uncut and early at patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons for as little as $3 a month. That's it. Want to see the uncut videos, gain access to the Discord, and watch all the videos that can't be on YouTube anymore? Go over there now. Also, as you'll know if you watch the channel often enough, I just finished my short film Better Anything. It's done, pretty much. There's like one more pass left to do on the sound, but it's done. The Indiegogo page is still open and linked in the pinned comment and description below, so if you wanted to go and claim any perks that you might have missed out on before, go over there now. I say this every video, but I just want to thank everybody that was involved in making that happen. It was an amazing experience and I can't wait to do it again. I've actually already got the next short written and just started work on my feature-length script. Both are super violent. But anyway, I'm in the mood to be seduced by a fat-titted succubus, so let's not waste any more time. Get ready to fight exploding skeletons in hell! This is Faust, Love of the Damned. The movie begins with a quote that reads, "The desires we deny find us as fate. M." Cut to this fella John waking up on the floor with the worst hangover of all time to find his girlfriend dead. We've all been there. Cut to him on the edge of a bridge, dropping his girlfriend's bracelet into the water, then to the title card and some epic metal. Cut to John in a cell as Dr. Yamamoto and Lieutenant Margulis watch over him. Margulis says John wasted 19 people, then just stopped, as we find out the man is now in a catatonic state. He asks the doctor to jumpstart his subject, but is told that's not quite how people work. Whoa! What the f was that? The editing in this one's gonna be mental, isn't it? Cut to this kerfuffle outside of a mansion as Margulis turns up. He's told someone broke in and locked down those inside, and the SWAT are waiting for Commissioner Marino, who's at a party uptown. They hear a scream as blood pours from the front door and Margulis says he's going in. He enters finding a shitload of dead bodies when outside Marino arrives. The Commissioner orders the SWAT team to move as inside Margulis finds more dead folks. Margulis uses this distraction to kick John off him as this human curtain disappears. John then only says the hand before falling into catatonia. The SWAT team enters and Margulis stops them from shooting John when the Commissioner chews him out.
Margulis,
Who the hell do you think you are? I gave you strict orders to stay in place until I got...
I thought I could save some
Well,
water.
you thought wrong!
I've got to say, I am loving Jeffrey Combs as a cop. It's not a performance I'm used to seeing from him, but in my opinion, he's nailing it. The pair then inspect a pile of dead bodies as we find out they used to be the Chinese council. Marino says there aren't any survivors when Margulis asks about the curtain woman but is ignored.
You should have wasted him.
I'm worried that's going to get really annoying. Really quickly. Like me. Back at the hospital, Margulis again asks the doctor to get John back in shape to talk to when he bumps into Jade DeCamp, the resident psychiatrist. After a bit of small talk, he asks for her help with John but is rejected both with the help and for a cup of coffee.
Maybe we could go get a cup of coffee?
Sorry, I mean, I've got work to do.
Cut to John as he sees a scary shadow on the wall. He's then joined by Jade, who tries to relax him while Margulis and Marino watch through a window. John pulls this hilarious face as the cops discuss Curtain Woman further, with Marino of course disputing her existence. Margulis finally asks about the hand, but again Marino says it's all bullshit. No Curtain Woman, no hand, just a deranged animal.
A pimple on the face of God.
A shit-infused stain on the sheet that is my life. Marino then tells Margulis he's off the case and leaves as John flashes his demon palm and we cut to M's mansion. Here, Curtain Woman, whose real name is Claire, disrobes and updates M on the massacre, saying John is still alive. She also mentions the cop Margulis and how John stopped himself from killing him, which according to M shouldn't be possible. M then makes a call as we cut back to the hospital where Yamato is telling Jade they're suspending her music therapy. Jade stresses she can get through to John, but Yamato says not this one as he won't be staying long. On her way out, Jade checks to see when John's getting picked up, but the receptionist isn't able to find a transfer time. She then says she's getting some coffee as we cut to Margulis researching the hand, which turns out to be a group of satanic knuckleheads or whatever. Cut to Jade with her coffee when she sneaks back into John's room, who's painting with his own blood. She hands him a marker and John starts to manically scribble as Jade tries desperately to get through. We then get some more flashy editing when John sees this CD and Jade pops it in. Jesus Christ, John, calm down! You're acting like she just put on Taylor Swift! John starts crying as Jade promises no more Tay-Tay and our hero says he remembers everything. Cut to a flashback of John and his then alive girlfriend Blue. John talks about his painting when these fellas bust in and spark him one. They say they're there on behalf of whoever smuggled her into the country when John gets brave and tries to fight back with some pretty pathetic results. This all happens while one of the henchmen plays the CD that triggered John in the present as the leader takes a blowtorch to Blue. Cut back to the present as John says he always knew evil existed and we find him back on that bridge from the beginning. Behind him he's approached by M sporting a very interesting hairdo.
It's a long way down. You won't even feel it. Moment of terror suspended in eternity and it's all over.
It seems like M is trying to convince John to jump when we get this line.
Pleasure, pain, it's all the same.
Sick bars, mate. M then offers John some help, a new life where nothing can hurt him, where he can have the power to express what he feels inside. In response, John tells him he feels nothing, but M doesn't agree.
I feel
Hate
Hate's nice.
for the one who put you here.
I want to tear his heart out.
I love John, I swear, every time he tries to express an emotion, it looks like he's halfway through himself. M then offers the power of vengeance in return for his immortal soul. We get this amazing CGI and John accepts, signing on the dotted line.
There will come the time when you do believe in something. I believe in nothing.
We know, John! M continues, there will come a day when he feels something and that's when he'll come back to John over, basically. John then finds his new gauntlets already attached and screams at the sky. Say hello to Wolverine and Spawn's butt baby, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't he beautiful? Cut to the docks as John arrives and takes a spooky look in the mirror before being attacked in a way that I usually have to pay for. He then skewers this fella before killing my favourite character in the film. Great, now who's gonna step on my balls every Friday night? John then shows the leader his new art before shoving his blades into the man's guts. Cut back to the present as John tells Jade he has seen the beast and it is him. Jade acts as if she understands this, but John calls bullshit, citing her entitled life and wackadoo therapy. Cut to M getting his medicine when John enters post-massacre. M tells him there's much more killing to be done, but John defiantly responds no more. Of course the bad guy isn't up for that, carving a pentagram into his palm. John then tries to attack M, but is advised due to their pact he can't harm his master.
You can't touch me.
You will live as the Slayer, between life and death. Sleep will be just a memory. Violence, your constant companion, consumed by vengeance.
Well, John then eats the heart and we cut to him having a vomity shower. He's joined by Claire, who is quickly able to seduce him, and they bang! Which is savage. Blue's body is barely cold in the ground and you're already some giant-titted Italian model. Yeah. Fair play, actually. Also, I think she was saying they should team up to defeat M. I don't know. It was hard to concentrate. Back in the present, Jade asks what happened at the embassy we saw earlier, and John admits he was sent to do it, that he had become a tool of the devil. He realizes he should have died, but he conquered the energy and stopped. He says they'll be coming back to finish the job when we cut to Jade pulling his file. Unfortunately, the goons enter, so Jade hides as they collar John and knock him out. Cut to our boy waking up in a grave and being chastised by M for not following orders. M drops the gauntlets in and says he'll be going after Jade when his boys start filling in the grave. Claire asks what they're gonna do about Jade, and M says he's got plans for her. Cut to this fella clocking Jade through a window as elsewhere Margulis is still doing his research. Jade calls him and says the hospital had a file on John and knew who he was the entire time. Margulis says he's coming to meet her now, and we cut to John's new, now filled in grave. We dive on in, and watch as John is attacked by hell skeletons. Love this movie. Luckily for John, M dropped our boy's weapons in with him, so he pops them on and uses them to explode a Skelly's head. Cut to the surface as we see John's blades emerge, then back to Jade as these turn up to kidnap her. She then makes her way to the alley out back, but is quickly cornered. They chuck her around for a bit, doing some evil laughs, and pop her in the car when Hell's hero comes to the rescue. And can we just talk about the costume here? I like the look overall, but that cape is atrocious. It looks like it's made out of thin cotton. It's hard to imagine something came from the bowels of hell when it looks like if you washed it wrong, it'd shrink. Faust parkours up this wall and stabs this bloke before decapitating this guy and chucking the head at the car, which makes the cutest little bonk sound. He then carves open the roof and pulls Jade to safety. The henchmen then get the f*** out of there as Faust vanishes to the rooftops and the cops turn up.
What do you think, brother? Too much blood or not enough?
Not enough! It's never enough! Cut to the police station as Jade gives Margulis John's file and updates him on the man's delusions. In turn, Margulis tells her about the Hand, who we learn are actually a cult run by M. Margulis says John is the key, and on their way out has a bitchy little exchange with Marino.
Didn't I tell you to stay out of this?
Hey, she called me. About John Jaspers? Oh, excuse me. I mean John Doe.
Cut to one of the surviving henchmen arriving at M's place to tell him about Faust. Claire doesn't think that's such a good idea, instead inviting the man onto a table for a session. One that doesn't end very well for the henchman. Worth it. Having watched this whole thing through a secret window, Em emerges as Claire is somehow able to contain her rocking tits. Em accepts Faust will be coming for him, but says without his influence, the demon would become a murderous force of nature, a loose cannon. Then for some reason he makes Claire's tits giant and about a gallon of leaks out of her. Before turning her into, as RLM put it, a tit puddle. A tit puddle I would still happily have sex with. Got a mouth, don't you? Em then blows some smoke on her and she returns to form, now completely covered in love gravy. Cut to Margulis returning Jade home. The cop looks at this picture, which Jade says is her father and her hero, which will be important for later. She then f***s the cop off out of there and we cut to her having a soak when the film flashes back to... Uh-oh. Oh, thank God. It's just Meltman. Better keep those hogs dry. Jade then exits the bathroom when John appears from the shadows saying his blades need to get dirty again. John says he needed to see Jade, that Em wants to do horrible things to her and that he needs to protect her. Jade then mentions the cops outside, causing John to get a couple of head boners. Hearing the screams, the police burst in and John once again transforms into Faust. And cop number one up!
Take this message to your master.
Cop 2 then tries his luck but immediately gets opened up. Clearly alarmed by this, Jade tries to tell Faust to hand himself in so she can help him, then ducks the f*** out as our hero says this.
Why don't you just admit it? I'm the pornography that gets you hot.
Good line. I'll be using that in the future. Faust then heads for the window as still alive Cop 2 spots Jade going into the subway and calls it in with Margulis getting the message. Cut to Jade in the subway when she uses a payphone to call the cop. Margulis tells her to stay put as we hear Faust screaming her name. Margulis makes it downstairs but is on the wrong platform when Jade runs into the arms of Marino and Yamamoto. They try to sedate her but Jade breaks away and jumps on the train only to run into Faust, who causes another scene. Faust continues to make his way down the train, trying to convince her he's the good guy while slicing ham. He then cuts the train car loose and Jade jumps to him, escaping the bad guys. Cut to morning as the pair arrive at John's where he half morphs back to normal. Jade still attempts to get through to John, but Faust says he is dead and she can't cure evil.
The man you're talking about is dead.
Let me go!
You can't cure evil, Doctor. It's not a sickness.
What do you want to do? Me? Is that what you want?
Faust then goes fully human and the pair start kissing? What the f***? This is the second hot woman that John's f***ed since his girlfriend died, which doesn't seem like very much time at all. You can't be grieving and also dropping your penis in for a dip check on every model you come across, lad.
I wanted you the first moment I saw you.
And just a reminder of what John actually looked like the first time they met. I guess Jade's got a thing for water-brained goofballs. Jade then sees a flash of Meltman which dries her pussy up something fierce. Cut to some time later when Jade tells John what that was all about.
I was when I was 11.
Ah, yeah. I was afraid of that.
Are you?
I don't know. I don't remember. In my dreams, he has no face. I called him the Smooth Man.
Meltman was better, but he f***ed you, so I guess you get to name him. Whatever. She says when they found her after the ordeal she was bleeding and John tells her to sleep, that he'll watch over her. Cut to Marino arriving at M's as does Margulis. Marino enters with something to say to these lot as Margulis also enters saying he needs to see the commissioner, not even trying to be stealthy. Is it just me or is Marino dubbed by a completely different actor?
I have a meeting with the mayor tomorrow morning. He wants to know why the police have failed to apprehend the embassy killer, John Jaspers.
Anyway, Marino whinges on about the situation Em and his creation have got them into as elsewhere Margulis goes snooping, ending up at the window watching over the table room where they're all having the meet. Here we find out they're planning a ceremony of some nature that Em assures will go off without a hitch. He then sprouts a mouth from his chest and eats Marino. I think. Whatever he does, I'm sure it isn't pretty. We don't get to see the end result, but I'm just picturing a pile of mincemeat. Upon seeing this, the meeting is adjourned and everyone leaves with Yamato and Claire staying behind to tend to their master. They talk briefly about John when it's revealed Jade planting the seed of hope in him is the reason he can use the power for his own end. And then it seems as if our hero cop Margulis has been discovered. Honestly, it was f***ing dumb of you to be in there in the first place. And why didn't you run when you saw your boss's head get eaten? Cut to Jade waking up to a call from Margulis, who is thankfully okay. He tells her that everything John's been saying was real and he's found a way to stop Em, but she needs to meet him right now and alone. Cut to Jade getting jump scared by Margulis at Em's place and... Wait, she's gone to Em's! That's where the bad guy lives! What the f*** are you doing, Jade? Cut to Em with whatever this is when he's notified of his new visitor, and then to Yamato doing chemistry. He's bothered by Claire, who offers to give Yamato Em's power, and this just seems to be something she offers to every bloke she meets. Claire tells him to f*** with Em's drugs as we cut to Jade entering this room. And yes, that is a picture of Em chilling with Hitler. Jesus Christ, Brian. Anyway, she's then joined by Em and it becomes clear Margulis has betrayed her.
Could you?
Oh, don't you dare judge me, you hypocrite. Did you have a good time last night?
Em then offers Jade a drink, which she takes for some reason, then tries to make a deal to free John. And our evil antagonist, of course, wants something in return.
Serve as the vessel for my seed.
Gross. Jade collapses as Margulis gets in her face, sucking off Em, calling him the truth and whatnot. Cut to John waking up to find Jade missing, and then to Em getting injected by Yamato. The poison drug then starts making Em's face melt, and when pressed, Yamato immediately admits Claire made him do it. Em then eats his face when Claire enters, saying she wants a divorce.
Honey, I want a divorce.
The henchmen then come in and Baldy stupidly doesn't agree with the new management.
Why should we take orders from you?
Because mine is bigger than yours.
I love her so much. I want her to peg me with that shotgun and pull the trigger. She then tells Afro here to go and get Jade, and we cut to her meeting the floor. Here we find Claire has changed into a new wonderful outfit and the two exchange blows before Jade goes to the stocks. She begs to be let go, but Claire ain't up for that, saying she's instead gonna give her the gift of lust. My turn next! Cut to Em not being quite as dead as we first thought, and then to Jade waking up in this cage. Claire then starts electrifying the cage and telling Jade to remember as we cut back to her 11-year-old self. And then to adult Jade in bed with Milkman. Claire seems happy that she's combined pleasure and pain, turning Jade into a whore, her words, and the true identity of Milkman is revealed. But more on that in a moment. That's when Em enters the room looking a lot healthier and is happy to find Jade sopping wet and ready for a plug-in. Cut to John on the edge of his favourite bridge as he has flashbacks to his first meeting and first ploughing of Jade. He once again looks like he's about to shit himself when we cut back to Em ready to begin the ceremony. He does a little speech and everyone chants when he steps up to Claire, who's been crucified. Well, if the cross was on its side. Crucicide? She begs for forgiveness, but Em instead jams his hand into her and pulls out a snake. That seems to be the end of Claire, when we also see Margolis looking much more in line with the usual Jeffrey Combs role. The snake is then fed down his throat, which kills him as the other followers beg to be murdered. And they are obliged.
Rejoice! Rejoice, friends! We are not going to hell.
And that's when our hero dives through a motherfucking window to save the day. He gets to M and asks what he's done with Jade when Faust is shown and makes this noise.
Jade!
Good lord. Jade shows she's gone to the dark side by licking her face and kissing M, which upsets Faust quite a bit. John then seems to go catatonic again as M gets on top of Jade and starts filling her with his demon seed, which she really seems to enjoy. Good for her. Until she doesn't. Yep, Meltman was her dad. Brutal. That's when this giant monstrosity emerges from the ground and I just don't know what to do with myself.
Isn't it obscenely beautiful?
Things your mum says when she looks directly into my lactating asshole. The more curious of you may be asking, what's it lactating, Jonjo? I'll tell you one thing, it's not milk. M says that when Jade's dad r***ed her, she loved it and now she's under his control or something. He then orders her to kill John, but after looking into those gormless eyes for a moment, is freed and instead cuts his bindings. The monster then freaks out and starts burning people to death with its pentagram laser, which is hilarious. Faust jumps in and so begins the epic battle of the ages as he sort of jumps and flails around for a bit before being picked up by the monster's blue telekinesis pentagram laser. Meanwhile, Jade sneaks up to stab M, but he goes all Meltman on her. She's able to overcome this because of her character arc and stabs him anyway as Faust stabs the monster right in the pentagram, leading to it spinning all the way back to hell. M then appears in front of Faust, reminding our hero that due to their pact, he can't hurt the Devil Man. Jade again begs for John to be let go, and M agrees in return for the soul of her unborn child. Because M never misses! And also comes after about 3 or 4 thrusts. Like a real man. Jade accepts and John is finally released from the torment of being a superhero with a curtain cape. Faust screams in pain, then turns back into John, now really feeling his multiple bullet wounds. And that's when we get this reveal.
I can't have children. When I was raped, I was just 11. But the damage wasn't only mental. I have no womb.
So, she was so hard as a child that they had to remove her entire womb. Is that right? Wouldn't get that kind of twist in a Marvel movie, would you? I know Black Widow is wombless, but I think that was a different type of situation. Anyway, I think Red Letter Media said it best.
Save the day?
With that, John gets up and stabs M, turning him into fire, then dies both on the bridge and in this room. The end! Well, I love Faust. Why in the name of sweet baby Jesus did we never get a sequel? I guess I'll add it to the list of scripts I need to write. Faust, Love of the Damned is the perfect Jonjo Lyons movie. Gore, nudity, ridiculous performances, and Claire. I just love her so much. Faust is an unapologetically silly movie that does its best to emulate the higher budget comic book films of the time while adding buckets of the red stuff we all crave. The story is simple enough, with a man losing the love of his life and being given powers to exact revenge like Spawn. After, one job, he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, so tries to go against his new boss and gets over, leading to him finding a new love and seeking another revenge. That's too many revenges! I thought the story was fine, but just had a weird structure to start with. Multiple flashbacks caught us up on everything that led John to his cell, and I wonder why we didn't just start where the story started. Other than that, M's motivation, the ceremony, seemed a little too disconnected from Faust, who was basically just a side project for him that only caused problems. It would have been nice to have Faust more directly involved with the climax of the film, rather than just have him there to save Jade. Also, Jade being there was kind of random. She wasn't needed for the ceremony, so what? Did M just have her there to bang while they summoned that monstrosity? I don't know. Onto the characters, and everything is pretty standard. We get John doing his The Crow Spawn thing with a pretty cool suit minus the curtain cape. M's doing his villain thing, Margulis is being the cop, and Jade is being the love interest. My favourite by far was Claire, and not just because I want her to beat me to death with her bare hands. She was just so evil and willing to everyone over at every opportunity. Oh, and John's facial expressions throughout were amazing. What the was going on there? Next is the gore, and holy mother of god, do we get some good stuff here. The gooey eye stabbing was fun, and the copious amounts of bloodshed kept me happy, but there was also some really inventive practical effects on display too. The tip puddle and even the quick shot of Marino getting his head ripped apart were great. The goofiest effect by far though were the hell skeletons. What the was going on with their limbs? They look like spider skeletons. Anyway, for a comic book movie, the gore was amazing. I really wish they'd gone this hard with the live action Spawn movie. Production wise, it did look like a movie for the most part. I also loved the score, but there were some really ropey elements too, namely the CGI. Any effect that wasn't practical looked terrible every time. And what was with the weird 3D render of M's mansion that kept popping up? Oh, and don't get me started on those flash cut edits that would jump scare the shit out of me every time. They did give me the nostalgic fuzzy feeling for 90s filmmaking, but still, could have done without them. In the end, Faust is my favourite movie I never got to see when I was a kid. It's loud, violent and stupid, which is basically my bread and butter. I pretty much loved every single second with this movie, and I am so upset we didn't get a sequel. If you like your heroes out of their minds and severely constipated, you'll have a great time with this insane little gem. So that was my review of Faust, Love of the Damned. What do you lot think? As I keep saying, I really enjoyed this one and can't believe we don't have a sequel. Even the comic book only had 6 issues. I need more Faust! Thinking about it, we could even do a spin-off movie with Claire breaking out of hell. And while she's been in hell, she's acquired the power of being able to eat people with her tits. Next time, you won't have to slash the henchman's throat while f***ing him. You'll be able to eat his entire head! Speaking of which, if you want to see an entire cult murder each other to summon some snake thing, completely uncut and early, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. There you can find the uncut version of this video, plus others with more stuff being added every single week. We got the uncut reviews, Patreon exclusive reviews, / comic breakdowns, and the Discord. And all that can be yours for as little as $3 a month. You can pledge more, I really appreciate it, as I need the money to enter Better Anything into film festivals. I need the world to see this film, and it is expensive as so any way that you can help would be massively appreciated. So that's it for another week. Like the video, leave a comment, and click subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Jonjo Lyons, and...
Wake up, dickheads! It's time for Faust!